Hey guys, Tech Sales Bilal here. Just wanted to make a quick video on the topic of closing versus tech sales in 2024. And I'll tell you why I'm making this video specifically right now. It's because I get a lot of people messaging me hundreds of times a month about doing a closing job because they've seen some guru online talking about it and they think they're going to make a lot of money. It's fully remote. They're going to have a lot of flexibility. And they've seen so many YouTube ads and Facebook ads from gurus telling them that that's a good opportunity, that they think it actually is a good opportunity. But when you look between the lines, you actually realize very quickly that it's a terrible opportunity. And it's an opportunity that you shouldn't really be utilizing, especially in 2024. There's hundreds, if not millions, of closers, certified closers, trained by some of the biggest gurus on YouTube and Instagram, right? So that's the first thing that you got to think about. And this is why I wanted to make this video. I'm gonna go through some of the benefits and disadvantages of both, right? Closing and tech sales. So if you don't know what closing is basically becoming a closer, a salesperson for a content creator or a co-seller or a coach, and getting a commission for every course or a coaching program that you sell to their followers. That's what closing is. And it became really popular in the last few years because it was promoted a lot by guys like Ty Lopez, Jason Capital, Closers.io, like Cole Gordon. And they basically make loads of videos about how you can be a closer and make loads of money. And a lot more people just started thinking about closing. It's basically like a new opportunity on how to make money online, right? And if you don't know what tech sales is basically working in sales within a tech company, within a software company. It's as simple as that, right? And I'll give you my background on into both of these areas. So I was actually a closer and I was doing closing for Ty Lopez as well as Jason Capital. This is a couple of years ago, and I worked for both of them for 3 months for Ty Lopez and 3 months for Jason Capital. And there was no base salary, there was no benefits, there was no like compensation, there was no HR department, there's no contracts in between, you don't get paid holidays. You're basically like a commission only closer for these gurus, and they basically treat you like shit because they have no reason to treat you properly and they can basically do whatever they want to you, right? So you could expect to work like 14 hours a day. I was working like 14, 15 hours a day. And in the biggest month that I had, I made like $2,500. And of course, there are some closer guys that can make 5, 10, 15, 20K a month. But for the two guys that I worked for, Jason Capital and Ty Lopez, I was making like 2.5 grand a month in the 3 months that I was there. And then I realized, look, this is a stupid opportunity. There's no value in the products that they're selling to these customers. The customer base is bad. And on top of that, I'm getting no base salary. I don't have a guarantee of a base. I don't have benefits. This is not really a job or a career. Anybody can do this. I'm not really learning anything, and I'm not actually like working on my career. This is more like a little thing that you do on the side. And I wouldn't really recommend it for people that are very, very serious about building a serious sales career. So I actually have a background in this, and I did this for, like I said, 6 to 9 months with the two of the biggest like coaches and course sellers in the world. And that's why I can give you perspective on this, right? And then on the tech sales side, so I've been in sales for about 6 years and tech sales for about 4 years. Had my first ever professional tech sales job in like 2021, 2022 as an account executive in an AI company. And I basically went from my 30K a year sales job that I had in 2020, right after college, to a 100K a year tech sales role at an AI company as an account executive. And then I recently left that company in 2024 to join a much bigger AI tech company and become another sales tech person in this company. And I basically tripled my salary again. And then I created this YouTube channel and a Discord community where I help hundreds of other people do the same thing, basically achieve that freedom that they want via tech sales. So that's some perspective on tech sales, and that's like my background in tech sales. And again, if you're watching this, you probably are familiar with both of them, and you're probably considering both. So this video should give you some like high-level overview on why tech sales could be a better fit for you. Now, with tech sales, there are some basic requirements that you need to fit to get in, and that's actually a good thing because with a closing role, they basically hire anyone and everyone, people from all over the world, people that are 15, 16, 17, 18 with no degree or high school diplomas. So that should tell you something, right? They basically hire anybody and everyone. It's commission only. that should say a lot. Whereas within tech sales, you need at least a degree, you need to have done some work experience. And the first thing that I want to show you is that in tech sales, you can have a base salary, a starting base salary of up to $70,000 for entry level roles, which is like sales development representatives or business development representatives. These are people that have just finished university or college, and they can make up to $70,000 base. This is the guaranteed salary that you're going to get even if you don't perform. Compare that now to the closing situation where there is no base salary. So there are months where you could make no money, right? Obviously. But whereas with this opportunity as a tech sales SDR entry level job, the minimum that you're going to make is at least $70,000 a year. And you'll make much more than that because this doesn't include a commission. The second thing is that obviously the benefits of being employed, right? So you get holiday pay up to 30 days if you're in the UK and whatever in America. You get guaranteed pay, you get sick pay, you get loads of perks. So at my current company, we get loads of perks, like a really good office that I can go to and utilize if I want to, and loads of work trips, gym spend, health, mental health spend, and a bunch of other things that you wouldn't really get in a closer role. And right, it's like they're not going to give you any of that. And that's a big deal. That's an extra like 20, 30, 40 grand a year. And there are other companies that if you work for them in tech sales, you even pay for your food, sometimes for your apartment. And it's like that's an extra 50 to 100K a year, right? So it's not just a 70K a year base that you're getting. There's also an extra 50 to 100K in bonuses, commissions, benefits that you're getting. And look, these guys legally hire you. So they have to go through a legal procedure to fire you within a tech sales company, right? Whereas within closing, they can get rid of you like this. That's literally what happened to me with Tai Lopez and Jason Capital. They just literally got rid of me like this. And I was like, this is stupid. This does not make sense. On top of the 70K a year salary that you're getting, this is entry level. This is level one. You can do this when you're 22, 23, right out of college with no experience, just a college degree. You can get up to another 100K in commission, right? So in your first year right out of college, your total take home would be like up to $100,000, right? And it's not just an extra 30 grand on top of your base. It could even be unlimited, right? I actually have loads of people that I know that are doing much more than this at 23, at 24, 25. I know a girl that's doing over $1 million. She's like 20 something in her late 20s at a big data cloud company. I know another girl who's like 25 or 26. She did like £400,000-500,000 in her best year, which is like $700,000. So these are like mind-blowing numbers when you compare them to closing, right? This is a career for life, whereas closing is more like a little thing that you do. It may work, it may not work. Whereas tech sales is a career for life. And remember, you don't get rich and successful through a job. You get rich and successful through a career. Tech is obviously one of the biggest industries. So even if you look at the AI industry, right, it's going to hit $1 trillion by 2030. Now that's just AI. You have 100 or like 1,000 other industries within tech. This is pretty obvious. I don't need to explain this. Whereas if you look at closing, it's been a trend for a couple of years. Just like Amazon FBA was a trend, or eBay dropshipping, or selling on Shopify. All of these things were trends and fads. Now, obviously, there were some people that made money in it, but it's a fad, it's a trendy thing. And the minute that you see these gurus making YouTube videos about it, you know it's the wrong time to get in, right? Because they've promoted the shit out of it, which means there's a million 15-year-olds in their basements applying for closer roles. And it's not serious. It's not a serious career. No one's going to take you seriously if you're a closer, right? You're not building a career. The final point that I would make is that the top guys within tech sales can definitely make more than $1 million a year in their 30s. I know 25, 30 people personally that are making over $1 million a year in their 30s. If you compare that to closers, like a closing role, the top guys that I know within closing roles are making 20K a year, 20K a month. Like that's the max that I've met a closer that is making. Okay. And those are like the super, super, super rare people. On top of that, like I mentioned before, there is no guaranteed income, there's no benefits, there's no safety, it's a fad. Anyone can do it, right? You can literally get a monkey to be a closer, no disrespect. And it's also high competition, right? So if you got Tai Lopez, Jason Capital, and a bunch of other gurus with millions of followers pushing closer roles as an opportunity, you know it's the wrong time to get in. Okay. So I hope this was useful. Think about it. I also have like a 49-page guide that I put together that will basically help you step by step get a tech sales role within a couple of weeks of going through that guide. took me about a month to put that together, but it shows you step by step, A to Z, how to go from where you are right now to 100K a year tech sales job. So feel free to check out that guide. There's a link in my bio. Let me know if you have any questions. But I hope this has given you some perspective into why closing is actually not a good opportunity. And one thing I forgot to mention actually is that 99.9% of tech sales roles are fully remote. So my current job at this AI company is fully remote. Okay. So the remote thing, although it's a little bit of a positive with like a closer job, it's not really a positive because 99% of tech sales roles are already remote, right? And in fact, sometimes it's even better to go to an office because you can socialize there, you get some free benefits there. But if you want a remote role, most tech sales jobs are also remote. So check out the guide in the bio. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to make more videos about this topic. Until then, have an amazing rest of your day.